Want to master logistic regression from end to end in under an hour? In this walkthrough, we'll take you from raw data to final prediction using a real student data set. You'll learn how to build the model, test the assumptions, interpret the output, and even write the equation. Whether you're prepping for a class, building a portfolio, or just curious how logistic regression actually works, this is your complete crash course, fast, practical, and hands-on. So if you've seen the other videos in this series, you're probably tired of seeing this data set, but at least it's applicable and can actually flow familiarity and all that stuff like that. So we're going to stick with this. I'm obviously going to do some other videos that follow a similar pattern where we can actually learn conceptual business and societal implications about how to model and what it actually interprets to be. But for the most part here, our goal is to have some consistency and interpretation about what we see, more so about how logistic regression works rather than the actual data itself. I felt like this is the most applicable use of the application. So let's look at the data set. So our target here is going to be whether or not a student was on probation, academic probation in the spring, which is a GPA of 2.0 or below. What we have is several variables here in academic preparedness, ACT, math, English, reading, science, and then whether or not a student was decided or undecided in their choice of major. We have a binary variable for male, female, continuous variable for age, a binary variable for state of residence, whether they were an in-state resident, whether or not their parent was, or any parent or relative was a legacy member. So in other words, they have an association with the institution prior to enrollment, whether the student lives in on-campus housing, whether the student was employed by the school, whether the student used tutoring services, and then whether the student attended supplemental instruction, and then finally, whether the student was affiliated with a fraternity or sorority. Now, what we're going to do, and this is a very easy process, so we're going to go analyze, regression, binary logistic. I've already got it preloaded. So we've got probation and spring here. And then we've got all of our variables and input over here. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to go to options and we're going to add Hosmer Let Me Show Goodness of Fit test just to see how our fit model works. And then I want to show you real quick, if we were to have categorical variables. So let's say this was a major that not necessarily was undecided. Let's say it was you were in one of 5 academic colleges. Maybe it's business and education, science and arts, what have you. Let's say this was a categorical variable with 5 categories. What you would do, and the way this model would read it, is you could drag this over here and say, I'm going to index my coefficients against some base value for that categorical variable. So you're telling it that that's how you want it to read. But that's not relevant here. So we're going to make sure that we're good because all the variables we have are either continuous or binary. So we'll go ahead, keep it at enter, and hit OK to run it. Hope you enjoyed this. If you got value out of it, go ahead, hit subscribe, and look forward to putting out more videos for you.